my headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Gervonta Davis didn't hold back on the Joe Rogan podcast, firing off a chilling warning to Jake Paul before their showdown. The powerhouse made it crystal clear. This isn't some circus act. It's a man who chose the wrong storm to step into. As Rogan pushed for more, Davis leaned in and said, "This ain't entertainment no more. This is personal."
Now it's just like, I don't know, probably this was a good thing, us fighting. Because you have someone that, we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing. You know, I gotta be in there with him. I gotta be able to, you know, his arm reach, his size, his power, the way he moving and things like that. I just gotta adapt as I fight him. I think it's gonna be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Boxing wins come November the 14th. We just giving boxing what it needs, and that's excitement.
From Davis's perspective, this fight is more than a matchup, it's redemption. After his draw in March 2025 with Lamont Roach Jr., the first time his flawless record cracked, whispers began to rise. Had his dominance started to fade? Thinking about his legacy and what it means to be a true world champion, Davis sees this fight as his moment to silence the noise and remind everyone he still stands among boxing's elite. Even if this battle isn't fought under the usual rules, its weight feels just as real.
Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion for entertainment. Don't do this at home, kids. So fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer for entertainment purposes only. So it's money making purposes only.
Paul has openly admitted that his upcoming showdown with Gervonta Davis is the biggest test of his career. Even with the edge in size and reach, he knows that won't be enough. Facing a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter like Davis means going up against pure skill, raw power, and championship experience. Paul confessed this fight demands a level of focus he's never reached before. It's not just about what he can do. It's about matching everything Davis brings and finding something deeper within himself to overcome it.
Fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure, for sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages in
90
the
something
entire
percent,
boxing.
right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So
Wow.
Just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed. and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches.
Paul's rise has always been wrapped in spectacle and showmanship, but this time, the spotlight feels different. Facing Gervonta Davis marks his toughest test yet, not just in skill, but in pure boxing credibility. A win here, no matter how the bout is classified, could completely reshape how the world views Paul, not as an entertainer dabbling in boxing, but as someone truly belonging in the ring. And that $50 million purse he mentioned? It's proof that the stakes, both personal and financial, have never been higher.
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I know that I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then. But I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but I understand the market, and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the...
Meanwhile, Jake Paul has made a bold and unexpected move before stepping into the ring with Tank Davis. He's brought Shakur Stevenson into his training camp. The decision sent shockwaves through fans and boxing circles alike. Stevenson, a 3-division world champion celebrated for his technical brilliance and defensive genius, will be sparring with Paul to elevate his craft. The goal? To sharpen his timing, precision, and ring IQ, proving that this time, he's not depending on muscle or size, but on pure boxing intelligence.
Sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast.
Training updates have been limited, but the few that slipped out say a lot. Davis's trainer voiced serious concerns about how the fight is set up, especially the use of 12-ounce gloves, something rarely seen on major fight nights, and the overall exhibition-style format. He argued that with the weight difference between the two, adjustments in glove size or round length could have leveled the playing field. But despite the pushback, the terms are locked in. 10 rounds, 3 minutes each, both fighters wearing 12-ounce gloves. The stage is set, and there's no turning back now.
The fight's getting really weird.
Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. It was 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves.
Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves.
Baby glove.
This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach.
Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake.
Exhibition though, can he win?
Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges.
So he can actually still win and knock him out.
But here's the trick. It's body punches only.
And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall?
At Jake Paul's belly. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved.
But Jake Paul for the win.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank at 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mismatch. It's supposed to be expedition.
Why's it matter?
What, you know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know? So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s.
Even though the fight is technically labeled an exhibition, everything about the promotion screams main event. Netflix has locked in streaming rights, and the marketing push has been massive, from the eye-catching Grand Theft Auto themed poster to the non-stop buzz across social media. The undercard is stacked too, featuring legit world title fights strategically placed around the headline bout to give the night real championship weight. Exhibition or not, this event is being treated like one of the biggest spectacles in boxing.
With fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight? And those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser. Because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. Has Tank? Well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see, unless he has ever.
For Davis, this fight is more than a spectacle, it's a statement. He sees it as a chance to expose what he believes is Paul's carefully built record of hand-picked opponents, and to prove to the boxing purists that he's not afraid to step outside his own comfort zone. For Paul, it's the moment that could define his career and his bank account. With an estimated $50 million payday on the line, this single night might be the biggest and most lucrative chapter of his boxing journey yet.
What are you making for the fight?
You're pocket watching?
A little bit here.
Like, what do you think?
50 to 100 mil.
You're closer on the first number.
Wow, that's still crazy to me, bro.
People are like 200. It's just like, nah. Boxing's not like that anymore. It's a lot of money.
Former champion Sean Porter offered a more heartfelt take on Jake Paul's rise through boxing. He explained that most fighters who accept Jake's offers do it for the money, not the respect. The paydays are massive, and few can turn them down. But in Porter's eyes, Jake still hasn't earned genuine admiration within the boxing world. The respect he gets feels shallow. People applaud his business savvy, not his craft inside the ring. Jake's team knows exactly how to market him, but real credibility only comes from stepping in with elite fighters and winning. That's something money can't buy. This entire fight, in many ways, shows how boxing has evolved into a business-first sport. For Jake, it's another chance to prove he belongs among real boxers. For Tank, it's a test of how far his legacy and influence can stretch beyond the ring. Both are masters of attention. But while Jake thrives on spectacle, Tank's power comes from pure skill.
I like, when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. And that's the problem with this sport. It's like, what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy. but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not. I got no. I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like they're talking like I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh damn.
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to it.
Despite all the criticism, there's an undeniable curiosity buzzing around this fight. Deep down, people want to see what happens when these two worlds collide. To many fans, traditional boxing can feel slow, even predictable. But Jake Paul brings a wild, unconventional energy that keeps everyone guessing. Throw Gervonta Davis into that storm, and the chaos multiplies. Even casual viewers who'd long tuned out of boxing are coming back, not for the belts or the legacy, but for the sheer spectacle of it all. In a strange way, this fight captures exactly what modern fans crave: chaos, unpredictability, and just the right amount of controversy.
Victory, unless he's landing the right jab, grab, breathe. Meanwhile, Tank is downloading, collecting timestamps. Ever see a big guy wrestle? Yeah, those first few minutes looks like a forklift, but by minute 5, forklift needs a nap. Can a forklift catch a fly? Only if the fly gets lazy. Jake's body will be open, especially after mid-fight when hands start sinking. And when the guard starts to wither away, so will the chin. Body shots don't ask permission, they collect rent. Liver! You don't need to be a heavyweight to fold a man who's exhaling. A small, sharp guy versus a taller frame, seen it 100 times. You touch torso early, you tag shoulders late. The high guard
Commentator Wade Plemons describes Jake Paul as a master strategist who uses fame and ego as his sharpest weapons. He doesn't just step into the ring. He builds a psychological battlefield long before the first punch is thrown. Jake controls the storyline, stirs emotion, and turns every exchange into a viral moment. Wade believes Jake cleverly lured Gervonta Davis, and with promises of massive money, global spotlight, and the thrill of a blockbuster event, an offer too big to refuse. For Jake, the real victory isn't just in the fight itself. It's in owning the narrative, making the spectacle every bit as powerful as the outcome. The clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is more than a match. It's a war of influence.
So and again, Jake's only been boxing for 5, 6, 7 years now. It isn't necessarily far-fetched to try to have his own advantages when trying to fight other boxers that have been far more experienced than him. But this one's a little too much, right? This one is crazy because of the massive weight difference. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But again, as far as a sport fight is concerned, I want to make sure I make that clear. Again, this is not me hating on it, because I do think that both guys have been very upfront with what they're doing in this fight and what their goals are with these kind of events. But the narrative Jake's trying to create as if this is like proving anything for him fighting a real fighter when Gervonta is so much smaller than he is. It'll prove something in the fact that Jake is willing to put on great events, but it won't prove anything to the people that are asking him to fight a real fighter. I will say though, if Jake goes out and flatlines Gervonta, the casual audience that will say Gervonta smokes Jake completely and utterly, like it wouldn't even be close, that will change their minds a little bit. Not the people that know boxing, but the people that are going to watch this, the casual viewer that know the name Gervonta Davis and know the name Jake Paul. If he is to compete with Gervonta at all or look good in that fight, people will in some way accept that. Or they'll do the other thing where they just say the fight's.
The fight has deeply divided the boxing world. On one side, purists see it as a slap in the face to the sport's integrity, pointing to the size gap and the exhibition label is proof that it's more spectacle than substance. On the other, supporters claim this might be exactly what boxing needs. New eyes, wider audiences, and a spark to revive a sport some feel has gone stale. Fans of Davis believe he's using this stage to highlight the difference between real fighters and showmen, while Jake's followers see him as breaking boundaries, infusing boxing with star power and the excitement of modern entertainment. The debate spans generations, those who cherish boxing's discipline and artistry, and those who crave adrenaline, drama, and spectacle. No matter where you stand, one thing's certain, this fight has everyone talking.
3 to retirement. I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face. Yeah, they gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. What'd you say, number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you no favors. And, all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that fight. And then number 3, you said what? You said
the retirement.
The retirement. Oh, boxing. Boxing. They're around. They're around. It's always gloves around. It's on you. It's on you. I'm chilling. You all right? Yeah, get with me. I know. How you feel? Dark skin boy. That's my man. The retirement is like he done a lot in his career, right?
If Jake Paul pulls off a win, it could send boxing in a bold new direction, one where star power and showmanship eclipse rankings and raw merit. The spotlight might grow brighter, but the sport's authenticity could fade, leaving true champions fighting for relevance. On the flip side, if Gervonta Davis wins convincingly, it would stand as a powerful reminder that experience, skill, and pure boxing fundamentals still outweigh hype and spectacle. This showdown isn't just about 2 men trading punches. It's a statement about the soul of boxing itself. Will the future belong to craft and legacy, or to clicks and theatrics?
The algorithm loves it, and both will watch. It's not just who wins, it's what wins. Will the entertainment value or the ring IQ come out on top? Because if Tank dominates, the meme dies. Jake Paul survives or hits it big, we see new rules are going to be written in real time. Me, you, maybe everyone at some point has been that bigger guy thinking that I'll just bully him. Jab, slip, liver shot, sat me down real nicely. Size helped until it didn't. All I'm saying is, let's not dismiss something because it looks weird. Many fights get decided by the details. Feet before fists, timing before muscle, discipline before clout. Look, Tank wins if he stays Tank. He's built on patience, traps, explosive counters. That's hell for a tall guy who gets eager.
So who do you have taking it, Tank or Jake? Is it the seasoned power and precision of Gervonta Davis, or the unpredictable grind and showmanship of Jake Paul? Drop your prediction below. This one's got the whole world guessing.